Okay, so Halloween is coming up, and my sons are going to be Sonic and Eggman, and so I decided to be Tails. Long story short, I need to make some tails. So I bought this faux fur. I purchased this from Amazon because I could not find it at any fabric store. And then I got this polyfill to fill this tail, to stuff it. I got this from Walmart. It was about $5. So I'm going to use these two things, and I'm going to create tails and a set of ears. Okay, so I took a piece of newspaper to draw out the wolf's tail. This is the shape I figure seems pretty good. And then basically what I'm going to do is cut this out and then trace the pattern onto the fabric. I did put this separate piece here, this line, because this is going to be the white for the tail and this is going to be the yellow. And then of course there will be two tails, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that process. So yeah, like I said, just cutting out my pattern on this newspaper. The newspaper was the only paper around that actually fit the size. And then I'm tracing it directly on the back of the faux fur with a pencil. Okay, you won't see the pencil markings once you sew everything together. So I ended up doing 4 of each piece. So 4 of the yellow part of the tail and then 4 of the white part because, we're going to combine those together and make 2 complete tails. Going to join them at the seams right here. So we take our fur brush and basically brush the fur away from the seam that we're going to sew together so that we don't get it caught up in the sewing machine. Okay, and then we're going to do the same with the other side. Go ahead, make sure you back stitch to make sure everything is really secure. Typically you want to do it with the same color thread that the fur is, but I didn't have yellow thread and I didn't feel like going to get yellow thread, so white worked really well and it didn't show at all. So again, the brush is just to make sure that you don't have any trouble when piecing them together. Typically you would want to pin or clip them together. I just get lazy sometimes, so I didn't, and it still worked out for me. But again, I would recommend using either some type of clips or the sewing needles, the pins, to go ahead and put them together to make sure everything stays in place as you sew. So again, I'm basically just making sure all the fur is tucked in as I go all the way around, but make sure to leave an opening at the top because we're gonna go ahead and flip that inside out as I'm showing you right here. Okay, so once everything is flipped inside out, I'm gonna brush it because, it looks good. And then here's the polyfill. We're gonna make sure that we're stuffing it really full so that we can get a full tail. So you really make sure you get down in there. I did use a pencil to kind of stuff it towards the bottom because I couldn't quite reach it. But again, you're just making sure you're filling it from the bottom to the top. So we're stuffing, more stuffing. Just go ahead and stuff it up. And then we're gonna brush it and make it look pretty. Suddenly you'll see elastic attached in a minute. I thought I was recording, I was not. Apologies, but you're gonna see every other step. So I have my 2 tails attached to some elastic. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, because I have this yellow ribbon left over from, I don't know, something, and my outfit is gonna be yellow, and just so that the elastic will blend in, I'm gonna go ahead and sew this over it, like this, so that once I put it on and tie it, I'll tie this over it and then it'll just be one smooth, thing. So I'm gonna show you guys how I'm sewing that on, really simple. I'm just gonna take this and fold it and then put it right here where the elastic meets the faux fur. I'm just gonna sew it right down like that. I'm gonna go ahead and back stitch so that it's secure. And I really just wish I had yellow thread, but I didn't feel like buying it, and so I didn't. But you can see cut off some of the loose threads here. And you can see it's attached well, so basically just gonna go like that. Gonna repeat the same thing for the other side. Excuse my nails. And I'm gonna sew that down just like I did on the other side. I have my tails, they're attached. And then I have my elastic and my ribbon over it. So what's gonna happen is basically you gotta take it to the back. And I'm gonna use the elastic pieces to tie it. And then I have this to cover. So, I have my two tails, and then it'll blend in because again, my outfit is yellow, so. These are the final tails brushed. This is my costume. Okay, and I think it came out really good. I got a lot of good feedback from it so far, and these are me and my babies. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.